I guess everyone's sort of talking about this, so I'm going to ask you. Maybe you're not paying attention, maybe you are. The college football playoff rankings. Do you think Miami's spot is fair? Do you try to ignore it? Do you sort of have to look at it? How do you view that whole thing?
What's our spot?
Oh, sorry, you moved up from 16 to sorry, from 18 to 15.
Oh, yeah, sure. I don't know. Again, I kind of talked about it last week, but all we can do is just continue to win. So that's really all we can control, and just trying to execute each and every day, and then ultimately on Saturday go out there and put up more points than our opponent. So again, where we get ranked is somewhat in our control, somewhat out of our control, but again, not our worry. Is we move on throughout the week in these last three games.
Adam, we'll go over to you.
Hey Carson, hope you're doing well. Just looking at the last two games, Keelan Marion's had, some really big games, had that really big play against Syracuse. Just how have you seen him kind of keep working? I'm sure he didn't have the kind of start of the season that he would have, loved. So how have you seen him continue to work, and what does he do that makes him just, so dangerous when you have the ability to make big plays?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, obviously, Keelan is an older guy, a transfer guy that's come in that obviously I have a lot of trust and confidence in. And the last two games, really, like you said, he's jumped out. He's made a lot of big plays, especially on third down in that SMU game for sure. But obviously, having the big touchdown against Syracuse was a big moment for him, and I was super excited for him. But he shows up every single day and just comes to work. And again, you can see all the success and why it's happening because of the work that he puts in. Again, there's so much talent on this offense that you don't know when someone's going to explode. You don't know who's going to show up and show out each and every Saturday. So obviously, the past 2 weeks, he's been able to step up kind of in that place of CJ being out, and then obviously there's some other young guys that have been able to too. But just highlighting him, he's definitely been able to step up for us the past couple of games.
And you mentioned, hitting him a couple times on third downs. Is there like a level of trust that has to be there? Like, I know this guy's gonna be open on this play. Like, I can get at him on these third downs, or is it just like, oh, here's my read, he's open, and it's kind of coincidence?
I wouldn't say coincidence, but it goes hand in hand. There's both, obviously, and third down, you get a good mix of man, zone, just kind of crazy looks, right? Like that's when defenses are trying to stop you the most, obviously, and can put on their rush packages and different third down packages that they want to do and prepare against you. So again, third downs, it does take a lot of trust because a lot of the throws, there's pressure. They're bringing 5, 6 people. They're trying to mix up the coverages and try to confuse me. So having that trust and knowing that those guys are going to be in the right spots to where I'm throwing it with anticipation where they can catch it in the area that they're supposed to, and that I'm not late on certain throws is a huge part. And obviously, as we continue to build this chemistry throughout the season, he's really been able to show up these past 2 weeks, kind of like I just said.
Go over to Manny Navarro next.
Hey, Carson, got a football question and a non-football question. I'll ask the non-football one first. Do you have a favorite restaurant or something here in South Florida, a favorite meal that you like to get off campus? I'm doing something kind of fun with a bunch of athletes in South Florida since we got the World Cup here in a couple months.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like there's so many good places, but if I had to pick one, I would pick Gecko. Gecko's fire. It's like a little Japanese steakhouse. The sushi there is absolutely dope. Absolutely love it. And yeah, I don't know. There's like 10 different places that I could pick, but that's the first one that comes to mind, and probably one that I've been to the most since I've been down here.
Anything particular you get there? Like something you'd recommend?
Yeah, so their tuna roll is really good, and then I normally just get a fillet. Their steak is also really good, but I mean, so I'm allergic to shellfish, so I can't do shellfish and stuff like that. But obviously, the people that I've been with that have gotten it have said that's amazing too. So I think everything on the menu is really, really good, in my opinion.
Appreciate it. And then my football question is just related. And I know penalties is always a touchy subject, but I did the research. I looked it up. Your offensive line's been called for holding 10 times. Your opponents have only been called for holding 4 times all season. You go up against that defense every single day. Does that kind of stat blow you away when you got a Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor and those guys that come after the quarterback and the opponents have only been called for holding 4 times?
I mean, probably. I mean, I don't really watch their side of the ball much of what could or couldn't be called, right? But again, I don't really know the rules as a ref for why they throw it or why they don't, right? Obviously, I can tell you an obvious holding call and what that looks like, but I don't know. Sometimes it goes our way, sometimes it doesn't, and we can't sit there and think about that. We just have to overcome it if that is a case. But again, we can't sit there and think about penalties too much.
Appreciate it.
Did two more quick ones. Jordan, we'll start with you.
Yeah, hey Carson. The first off, NC State is what stands out about their defense.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, you look at them the past couple of weeks, and their whole team in a whole seems to be rolling. They're really hot. They've knocked off some pretty good teams, and their defense flies around the ball. They got a lot of guys up front in that front seven that they fly around. They swarm the ball. They're going to mix up different coverages again. I mean, every team does, but they mix up coverages. They try to confuse the quarterback with different pressures and things of that sort. So, and then obviously the third down plan, they're going to challenge you, try to get up in your face. Maybe man you up a little bit, switch it up in zone. Obviously, we don't know until we get to game time exactly what they're going to try to do for us. But again, I think we have a good plan going into the week. And just like it is every single week, it'll be more about us than the opposing side of the ball.
And then curious for you, last regular season home game for you this week. Just want to know if you could just reflect on your time thus far in Miami. What has stood out and sort of your decision to come here? What has stood out the most to you about your time here?
Yeah, it's been awesome. Obviously, I'm super blessed, thankful, and grateful for the opportunity to have been able to come down here just after the injury and surgery and everything that I have kind of gone through this year. It's been crazy. So to play my last regular season home game will be a lot of fun, and obviously looking forward to it.
We'll do last question from Andrea Adelson. Go ahead, Andrea.
Carson, kind of as a follow-up to the ranking, have you felt any sort of like increased sense of urgency at practices since SMU, knowing that you're essentially in a playoff right now, knowing that every game kind of is a must-win to be able to keep your playoff hopes alive?
In a sense, I guess, but again, I think for us, the shift in focus has kind of just gone back to going out there and playing loose and not. I feel like thinking in a way of saying like, oh, this is must win is like makes you stiff, it makes you tense, and that's bad ball. Like that's bad. That's not the way football is meant to be played. It's meant to be played loose, having fun, out there flying around, right? So that's where our mindset is going out there, just be loose and have fun. Like again, there's only 3 guaranteed opportunities. I've been saying this since the very first game, and you don't know when that last time that you get to run out on that field is. So just taking every, moment in as it comes and going out there and just, again, having fun as a team and trying to execute to the best of our ability.